All right, so Alex Pereira, one of the biggest names of all of mixed martial arts, and of course one of the hardest hitting fighters that's the sport's ever seen. A two-weight division champion, of course. Is he on the verge of fighting for the heavyweight title? Because that is what he's hinting at. He took to Twitter and he posted with no context, no clues, no opponents, no nothing. He just put 1, 2, 3 and go. And as a man where the most thing that he says is Shama, that's saying quite a lot. I believe that Alex Pereira is hinting at the fact that he is going to get a shot at a third world title. The only man to ever do that. And the reason I think that, I've talked about this many times. Number one, he deserves it. He was the middleweight champion. He was the light heavyweight champion. He run roughshod all over the light heavyweights. And of course, there's still another couple of fights. There's Carlos Solberg out there. There's maybe a third fight with Yuri Prohaska. But realistically, he's done it all. He knocked out Magomed Ankalaev in 69, 59 seconds, whatever it was. He smoked him. It was very, very fast, okay? And the man is gigantic, and he's not getting any younger. And of course, we have the whole situation with Tom Aspinall. Now, you might have seen this post that was doing the rounds recently, okay? A couple of days ago, I saw something. It was very alarming. People all over Twitter, Josh Thompson was one of them. So I thought there was some credibility to this. They said that the UFC went to Tom Aspinall and asked him to vacate the belt. That's because he just had a double eye procedure, double eye surgery, whatever you want to call it. He had operations on his eyes. He showed him all red. And of course, it's already been 4 months since the last fight with Ciryl Gane where he did get eye poked. And it wasn't his fault. It really wasn't. He shouldn't be getting any shit or any blame here. But he is, which is just weird, right?
The reports are out that the UFC asked Tom Aspinall to vacate the title until he was ready to go. And he said he'd be willing to vacate the title as long as they released him. Now, that opens the door so he can go ahead and box.
But he just had surgery, okay? And he isn't going to be fighting anytime soon. And when they said they went to Tom and asked him to vacate, I kind of understood it because they probably wouldn't want to do an interim title fight because of the whole debacle that Tom went through with the interim title. And then to bring another interim title in, that would seem kind of weird and seem kind of crazy, right? Interim titles all over the place. So maybe they said, do you want to step away from the belt, okay, whilst the division moves on, and when you're ready to come back, you fight for the belt straight away. And the rumour was that he said, I'll do that as long as you release me from my contract so I can go on box. Right? And everyone was saying, oh, this is really happening. Turns out it's not. It's bullshit, okay?
This is number one bullshit.
Tom's waiting to make his comeback. He's still very much the heavyweight champion of the world. The third champion to come from England. Shout out Big Tom. And I'm looking forward to the comeback. Now, because of that, that's when Alex Pereira comes into the fold and he says 1, 2, 3 and go, right? This new era of the UFC, we want big fights. Paramount TV have just paid $7.7 billion. They want spectacles. They want fights like the White House. They want Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira. Or, as I always said, Alex Pereira versus Ciryl Gane for an interim title. Now, I don't know what's going on with the whole stuff with Tom. Apparently, he came out and he said, I'm still very much the champion. That's great to hear. Do not walk away from this sport, Tom. Do not let the fans get to you, right? They're a fickle crowd. I was hated beyond belief. And now there's still a few people that hate me. But for the most part, people respect what I do. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm loved because I sound like a wanker if I say that. But the tide has turned. I was once the most hated man in all of mixed martial arts because I was a little shit back in the day.
Well, Bisping's just a dick.
But the fans of mixed martial arts, just like any sport, they're very fickle, okay? Right? Love you all, by the way. Now, here is what Tom posted recently, and I just want to talk about this quickly. He said, I love mixed martial arts. I'll never stop loving it, but I just hate the business. I think that fighters are completely replaceable, and the business will make you feel like that any chance it gets. Even if you get hit with an illegal move, which could affect the rest of your life, they don't really give a shit, and no one else does either, right? And I understand what Tom's saying. saying, okay? Because you do feel like the whole world has turned on you. And certainly, when he wasn't the person at fault, he wasn't. But this is the world that we live in. It just is. The show must go on. I went through multiple eye surgeries. I wasn't in constant communication with the UFC. They weren't calling on me and checking on me. The only time I got a phone call off Dana White was when he called me. And I'm not talking shit, by the way. They got a business to run. They got a worldwide massive corporation to run, putting on the best fights on the planet, okay? And if someone gets hurt, well, then that's a real shame. But the show goes on. It just does. We're stepping into a cage with 4-ounce gloves on, trying to beat the shit out of another human being. That's why a lot of people think it's crazy, because it is a dangerous sport. And in the world of boxing, people die. I talk about that all the time. The sport of boxing still moves on. If you get hurt at work and you can't do your job on a Monday morning, the business still continues. The factory still goes on. The milk still gets delivered. The cow still gets slaughtered, right? Whatever it is, Amazon drivers are still making the deliveries. Just because John, your usual driver, twists his ankle and can't go to work, the show still goes on. I am not being unsympathetic towards Tom. I totally get it. And I understand that he's pissed off and he's going through a lot right now. Just ignore all of that shit. Just come back, win your next fight, dominate the next few, make tons of money and retire. But in the meantime, let's get back to what I was saying about Alex Pereira. If he isn't fighting anytime soon, and it certainly doesn't look like he's fighting anytime soon, then this 1, 2, 3 and go from Alex Pereira, to me, is clear as day. He's fighting for a third belt sometime soon. Or maybe he's not. Maybe he's talking out of his ass. Remember, he said that he got hacked recently. There was someone else recently as well saying they get hacked. It kind of drives me crazy. Anytime someone puts something on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, and then they get a little bit of backlash. Jake Paul just did it, for crying out loud, about the halftime show at the Super Bowl. Oh, I don't know what happened on my Twitter. I think I got hacked. You didn't get hacked. You posted something. You felt a certain way. You said your little tweet. And then you got a ton of shit and a ton of backlash, and then you just went, oh, I was hacked, right? And Alex Pereira has said the same thing in the past, and maybe he'll say the same thing about this. But going back to what I say, Alex Pereira deserves a third shot at the belt. If Tom is on the sidelines right now, and Jon Jones is actually retired because of all the arthritis in his hips, right? If he is walking away, right, then he is, Alex Pereira, the next guy, the most logical guy. He's done it all at light heavyweight. There isn't really anyone there for him anyway. Yeah, of course, Khalil Roundtree wants another pop. Of course, Yuri Prohashka cried his eyes out just at seeing Alex Pereira destroy Magomed Ankalaev the way that he did, because he is a samurai and he just, oh my God, he loved everything about it, right? And I love that about Yuri. And Yuri's one of my favourite fighters, okay? But he has been beaten twice, and realistically, at light heavyweight, Pereira's done it all. And the man is gigantic for 205. He would probably walk around 240 pounds. He could put a bit of muscle on, walk around at 250 and go knock the fuck out of almost everyone at light heavyweight if they can't take him down, right? And what would Ciryl Gane do? Ciryl Gane would stand there and go toe-to-toe. The man's a kickboxer. Send him to Dagestan for 20 or 30 years and forget all about it. He still ain't going to shoot a takedown. And you're going to be jumping around all over the place. Pa, 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 pa. But you know, he's very light on the feet, you know, and he's very French, and he's got the flair, and he's got the ballet, and he's got the pa, 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 pa. He's got the punch you in the face. I don't know what I'm doing, okay? I've lost the plot. I've been sitting here by myself in this room, losing my goddamn mind, because Alex Pereira is going to fight for a third belt. The only person to ever do it. That will mean he is by far the most successful person to ever step foot in the UFC's hallowed octagon. What do you think? Am I crazy? Am I talking out of my arse? How do you feel about Tom? And if you're watching this, Tom, just ignore all the shit online, because those people could never dream of what you have done and achieving the levels of greatness that you have. They could never dream about it, so they talk shit online. Just ignore all them. They don't matter. But Alex Pereira, right? In the meantime, if Tom is on the sidelines for a while, which it looks like it is, in the meantime, there's an opportunity for Alex Pereira. Would it be Ciryl Gane? It would have to be Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane was fighting for the belt against Tom. Yes, he poked him in the eye. Yes, he was the person that committed the foul. And yes, he might be the guy that gets rewarded with another major title fight, right? But that's the world we live in, right? It's not a fair world sometimes, okay? And some people might think that's crazy. But as I said before, the show still goes on. Jon, what do you think about everything that I just said? Do you think Alex Pereira will be fighting for a third belt, or am I 1, 2, 3 times out of my goddamn mind? Thanks for watching. Subscribe, ring the bell. The dog's barking. It's time to wrap this video up. Shut up, Ford!